Head of the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Superintendent Sylvan McIntyre, has confirmed that a chartered flight arrived at the Morris Bishop International Airport on Tuesday afternoon with 5 Grenadians deported from the United States. Flow One News received information on Tuesday that the flight arrived around 2:30 p.m. and was also scheduled to make stops in Haiti, Santo Domingo, Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica as well. There was also another chartered flight from the U.S. carrying Guyanese nationals only. In an interview on Wednesday, Superintendent McIntyre says there were 5 Grenadians that arrived on Tuesday.
And they all committed offenses in the United States, ranging from arson, possession of firearms, illicit drugs, and I think there was one person that had, as I indicated before, arson was one of the most serious, I think, among the offenses that they came in for. We would look at any and the most serious crimes or the offenses that can be committed. I think people need to be reassured that the RGPF is a modern police force, and we are going to be using all of the technology and information that are available to us to get information relative to the safety and security of our residents and people who are visiting here. So persons returning that have committed offense in other territories, that is not a new activity to us. As a matter of fact, the 5 persons that arrived yesterday on the chartered plane, the plane was not chartered for Grenada, but it is a flight that was used for the region.
He notes that Grenadian deportees being brought back to their homeland have been a frequent occurrence, and law enforcement officials have strict rules in place for their arrival.
The offenses committed, some of them may have served custodial sentences. They would have been punished for it, and they may have had remedial conditions. Maybe they've had reforms. And so the whole process of discrimination is something that we have to guard against. So even if somebody may have served a sentence for an offense, they may have committed a crime, it doesn't mean that that person is a repeat offender. It is our responsibility as a police force, it is our responsibility as a state to ensure we have mechanism in place for these checks and balances. So our main offices, our criminal investigation department, our special branch, our drug enforcement unit, we are all aware of all of these persons. We are recording the information as to the offenses committed, the territories or countries where the offenses are committed. We do have the local addresses and so forth, and we would keep checks and balances as to where these persons are. But be mindful that we are still concerned as to creating discrimination against those persons who may have committed offense and have since, let's say, repented for what they may have done.
Superintendent McIntyre says there are local police officers that have been trained with Interpol or international police and are in constant dialogue with them should there be any cause of security concern.
When flights are made available, these persons will be put on them. And where there are a considerable number of these persons to send back to the region, or if to be sent in any particular country, it would make good financial economic sense to put more than one person on a flight and have it sent to a territory rather than having a flight leaving with 1 or 2 persons. So it varies in terms of the numbers and the frequency in which they arrive on island. But we have been receiving them for years. Deportees have been coming and the same procedure is in place. Just now that people have become overly concerned, we need to reassure persons that we are on top of the situation and there is a process in place for checks and balances of these persons.
The CRD head reiterated that there is a regional network of security control mechanism, including the regional security system, which is responsible for drug enforcement, criminal activities and border control, that is geared towards maintaining a safer environment for everybody. Blossom Alexis Welsh, Flow One News.